welcome to the show. And who
Pleasure.
is Martin? Tell us about yourself and how
So,
you got involved in all this.
um, as my Mimi, we have said, my grandmother, we all do things for a reason. The purpose of the company itself is of course to battle climate change, and we do that one solar panel at a time.
Yeah.
It sounds like I've been singing. Sorry, I lost my voice. It's a Monday morning, so you can get your best guess how I did it, but I really don't know. I just lost my voice. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
But it sounds much more interesting today. So I worked the previous 20 years in the steel industry. Back in early 2010, together with the co-founder of this company.
Okay.
His name is Denis Turcotte. We saw an opportunity, right? So being people from manufacturing, and back then, the Ontario Green Energy Act presented the opportunity to manufacture products for domestic consumption, for domestic sale. And we didn't stay there. So we as a company, we saw the opportunity to grow, covering the growing demand in the US. And that's why the evolution of the company was, from Ontario to the US, like with many other manufactured products, right? So when you look at the Ontario and Quebec manufacturing industry, most of the product we make in general is sold in the US. We took over an operation in Minnesota, mid-2017, and invested into that manufacturing line, setting a new manufacturing line in 2018. Mm-hmm. That line is in a community that's called Mountain Iron, in the Iron Range. So it's very similar to our, Northern Ontario mining area. It's just the other end of the lake. We are the east end of Lake Superior here. We're on the west end of Lake Superior there. Earlier this year, in the month of July, we took over also an existing operation in Riviera Beach, Florida.
All right, so we'll talk about that in a bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But just sorry for cutting you in there. But I just wanted to know. So tell us about the name.
Yes, Heliene.
So is how's it pronounced?
Heliene.
Heliene. Okay. So what does that mean?
Well, it doesn't mean anything really. So it comes from two words. So the company started in Spain in 2007. So we started it in Canada in 2010, but the company has been manufacturing in Spain since 2007. And the name of the company has always been Helios Energy.
Oh, okay.
And from Helios Energy, you just put them together, and because Helios, energy, so Heliene, and we're stuck with it. So it's not perfect, as many things we humans do.
Over the past few months, Heliene has been in the news for opening its second US panel manufacturing. Could you tell us about this? And I'm guessing this is in Florida, right? This latest one, yeah. And this is an expansion because you already said you had one already built. So tell us about this new plant and why Florida?
So this opportunity presented earlier this year. During the pandemic, it has been different the way we conduct ourselves. Instead of going from place to place and meeting people and getting into conversation, it has been more literally sitting on my backyard and answering the phone and participating on Zoom calls.
Yeah.
So I met the main shareholder of a company that used to operate in Florida under the name of Solar Tech Universal. They built this absolutely amazing factory in Riviera Beach, and they decided to close business And it was an opportunity for us to take over this operation and start manufacturing Heliene modules in it. Sorry, that noise is the boats going up the St. Lawrence Seaway, because the water is right behind me. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So we were talking about Florida. So this is an existing facility that manufactures low temperature soldering through micro wires. So this is a different technology. This is the only factory in the US, in North America, that has that manufacturing process to solder heterojunction solar cells into solar modules. So it's a slightly higher efficiency type of solar cell when you compare it with PERC. So, there are some modifications that were needed because we're building up, a larger solar module. As you know, solar modules have been growing in size, mainly to the size of solar cells increasing. So those modifications are being made in the line right now, so that come next month, October 2021, we will start manufacturing.
Oh, great. So you have two main manufacturing facilities in the US.
Correct.
Right? But this company was founded in Europe. It's based in Canada.
Yes.
But it manufactures in the US. Okay. So,
yes.
Sorry, I just want to map it out.
Yes, sorry for the confusion. So we don't have manufacturing in Europe anymore.
Okay. So, but why? And you have like two or three offices in Ontario, right?
No, in Ontario, we have, the manufacturing facility. Then we have sales people positioned in different places in the province of Ontario for Canada and in the US as well. The manufacturing facilities are, one here in Sault Ste. Marie, or comment est-ce qu'on dirait, au Sault Ste. Marie.
Oui.
One in Mountain Iron, Minnesota, and one in Riviera Beach, Florida.
Okay. Okay.
And you might have seen also on the news on September 9th, we broke ground on the expansion of our Minnesota factory.
Yes.
We're building a building. Actually, the construction of the building already started. We're adding roughly 70,000 square feet, in which we will fit in a 400 megawatt a year manufacturing line.
So all these expansions and these new builds, is it in anticipation of market growth, or is it already because you're trying to meet up demand that you are already feeling in your books?
So I would say it's a little bit of both. So the American market has been growing, well over 20% year over year. If you follow the US news, you will see that the US Department of Energy only 2 weeks ago released the climate abatement plan, climate change abatement plan, saying that solar will need to grow 3 or 4 times over, so 300 to 400% of what has been growing so far. So there is an unmet demand. There's a lot of imports in the US. Domestic production historically has not been more than 25%, and that demand will grow. So we're trying to of course, increase market share within a market that is growing on its own.
Right. So tell us a little bit about the product. So you manufacture the all black modules, right? You manufacture the all black modules, and you also manufacture
that would be for residential, correct?
Okay, and then you also manufacture bifacials and the large panels.
And getting larger, larger. So yes, so we manufacture a family of products. As you said, they normally called black and black or black on black.
Yeah, black on black
is a product that goes for residential. The Florida factory in particular, that's all it does. So the Florida factory in particular manufactures this, very high-end, higher efficiency heterojunction black module. And then our main products in the larger lines, and the one we're building in Minnesota, the new line in particular, is concentrated on using 3 sizes of solar cells. M6, which is what we have been using since late last year. At the M10, that is what is coming up now. We started manufacturing this product earlier this month.
Mm-hmm.
And what we will see next year, which is the M12, which is the larger, the 210 millimeter cell. So the new line, as well as the old lines that are being converted, are able to work on all 3 sizes, M6, M10, and M12.
Let's talk a little bit. Let's switch gears. Talk a little bit about the sales process here. So, do you sell direct or you sell to distributors?
So, 70 to 80% of what we sell goes into the utility scale market, right? In utility scale projects, the developer is the one buying. In rare cases, it would be an EPC that is buying on behalf of the owner. So again, 70 to 80%, the product we sell to projects, we sell direct, whether it is the developer or the long-term owner buying the project from the developer. The smaller portion of our sales, which goes into residential and small commercial, we have two groups of clients, distribution being the larger percentage of it. And then there are some residential integrators that don't buy from distribution because they have enough of a volume on its own to buy direct. But it's the same product, right? It's a product that will go into residential installations.
So so all these products across the board, do they share the same silicon or photovoltaic technology?
All of the PERC, whether it's a black module or a bifacial module, yes, will be the same type of solar cell, PERC solar cell, that we buy from Taiwan or satellite companies in the Southeast of Asia owned by the Taiwanese companies that are our suppliers. But then the heterojunction module that we will be making in Florida, no, that's a different technology. That's an N-type cell with a thin film.
Switching gears again here, and this is going to be a trick question. Is Heliene thinking of going public anytime soon?
Yes.
Okay.
That is a possibility.
What's next for Heliene?
We are rapidly growing. I think that the market opportunity has never been this apparent and explicit.
Yeah.
So we are doers, right? So we do things. We don't talk much. We just concentrate on getting it done. So the expansion in manufacturing capacity, I would say, is our first priority, and then diversification into including and integrating solar technology on other streams of industry is what comes behind. I don't want to say as a second priority, but basically is a different team that is a smaller priority, but still central to the company growth. One of the fields is agrivoltaics, we foresee a very strong requirement on generating the necessary energy that greenhouses consume, whether because we're in Leamington, Ontario, where the available energy is well, the necessary energy is not available. Therefore, we need to integrate power generation and light management, or simply because even if there is availability, there is a need to make our greenhouses net zero, or at least offset part of their energy consumption with the generation in situ. So that is a field. There are other fields that we're working on. One is building integrated PV. The era of just building buildings that are inactive or passive, that only consume energy, I think is the past. So we're a little behind in North America versus other jurisdictions in terms of incorporating power generation in the facade of the buildings, but this is something that is coming, and we're going to be bringing a product to market very, very soon.
Oh, nice. And on a personal level, I think I saw because we're connections on LinkedIn, and I think it was yesterday, I was just looking through LinkedIn and I saw a photo yesterday, a photo of you planting trees.
Yes.
You're planting oak trees,
yes.
Right? So tell us about that. So these trees, basically you nurse them at home and you planted them?
So
was this
I have the Lake Superior beach very close to where I am right now. So it literally is behind me. So I go for walks. I generally have several dogs running around me. I only have one at home, but he's very friendly. So we go home to my neighbors and pick up their dogs, and we all go together. My kids are grown up and long gone. So I have one dog, and pretty much spoil everybody else's dog. They're not mine, so I can spoil them and then bring them back to their home. And I go with this bucket and a little shovel and pick up oak babies that grow in the sand. So we have this 100-year oaks. There's lots of little trees that grow on the sand, but they will die in the first winter.
Yeah,
because basically they freeze over. So what I do is I put them in planters, I bring them into my garage, have them at least 1 year, if not 2, depending on the size. They lose their leaves. They look absolutely miserable for, until the spring. But, if you keep them watered and warm, they grow. And, after at least 1 year, and in some cases, if they're too small, I will wait another year. Then I plant them, I offer them to friends that have a space. This trees look like a little plant, but within 10 years they are already a big tree, and they will grow and take over the space. So I might not see them being adult trees. I'm 56 years old, but I think it's a necessary activity to battle climate change.
Well, it is, and you're doing so on a personal level and with your company. So thank you very much, Martin, for taking the time to chat with us.
Un pleasure, toujours un plaisir.
Enchanté, on va se revoir la prochaine. Peut-être la prochaine fois, on va faire l'interview ici en français.
Bien sûr, je t'en prie.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Bye.